It's taking a minute. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go. Now we're live. It was buffering
Hey.
for a second. I don't know why. Okay,
Yeah,
hello.
Go ahead.
Oh, so we're here, me and Nicole with Tania Hagan. Do I pronounce that right, by the way, Tania?
You do. It's Tanya. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Perfect.
For a while, I was saying Tania, and I was like,
oh, I know. Everyone does.
Yeah.
I know. That's a much more common pronunciation, but I'm just Tanya. It's, Serbian.
So guys, hopefully, I don't know if you have read or not, but we're going to be going over the book with Tanya, asking her questions. You guys feel free to ask her questions about it. It's called No Inclination, based on true events of the Watts case. So Tanya, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you, Robbie and Nicole. But no, I'm an author. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I'm whatever it is. Home was it called? Homemaker. I don't know. I'm a bum, but I write books. And this is my latest one. It's called No Inclination because of the thing that Chris Watts said incorrectly on the front porch during the front porch sermon. And I just grabbed that for the title of my book, but it's basically the Watts story with different names and locations. And that's what's going on. I'm just an author.
Yes. And Nicole, you just finished it today.
I did.
So
well,
overall,
I wanted to finish her sentence on what she just said. You're not just an author, you're a great author.
Oh my gosh, thank you. That is so sweet. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm going to cry about 20 times tonight, but
that's okay.
Don't mind me. You can't see me, but thank you. That is so sweet.
So I was going to ask you, because I was telling Nicole too, I was like, I'm going to look up her history as an author and stuff. But then I was like, I'll just ask her. So how many books have you written before this one? First off.
This is my 8th published work. However, one of them is a novella. And a couple of them are collaborations with other authors, but I still consider them books. And so there are 8 now, including No Inclination. And only one of the books was a different publisher because she asked me to contribute to the author compilation or whatever you want to call it. And she was with she owned another publishing company, or she worked for them or something, but they're all with the same publisher. I was so lucky. Oh my gosh. I sent out my first book to about a dozen publishers, and within 4 days I had 2 offers to publish. And I went with CHBB because the woman, the woman who is the acquisitions editor, and she's the publisher. She's about my age. She's a really nice lady. So I said, okay, I'll just go with these guys. But long answer from Tanya.
So when
I've got 7 other 8 total.
So, and if you guys haven't read the book yet, basically the book it's a fictional book based on true stories. So the characters' names are different. Everything in the book it gives you a different vibe. So to me, it gave me my opportunity, what I love to do when I'm reading a fiction book, and that's to place actors in the roles of each character, which I did. So Nicole and I, before we get into parts of the book, Nicole and I were like texting back and forth. We're like, ooh, who did you pick to play who? We want to hear who you visioned when you wrote the main characters.
Oh my gosh. You know
so
what?
Like Charlie
this book
Spencer.
I haven't really... Charlie Spencer, he could be, and I have not, believe it or not, I have not really cast this book yet with, for the big screen movie. Isn't that weird? But there have been so many people going through my head, and the gentleman who played Chris Watts actually in the Lifetime movie, I obviously he'd do well as my Charlie character. And then again, the women in the book are blonde rather than dark haired. So I have to think about that because as weird as it sounds, I haven't thought about who to cast yet. But I was very entertained by and I told you I was going to figure it out, and I didn't. I'm silly, but whatever. But I liked your choices. So why don't you
mine,
go over those if you feel like it?
Yeah, before Nicole, I'll just say the main characters, like the Stephanie character, who's basically the mistress. And then I did that. There's an actress called Carlson Young. She's in the Scream TV series, and she's a bit younger, which was different because her character to me was like a younger in her 20s type character, blonde.
Sure.
But Jennifer Love Hewitt was my Cassandra, my Shanann Cassandra, and then my my main guy, that was Ryan Felipe.
Oh, yeah.
Who was yours, Nicole?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mine for Chris Watts was Christian Bale.
That's a good one.
There you go. Okay, perfect.
And then for Shanann, I was trying to remember because I wasn't sure if it was Natalie Portman or not. But the more I think about it, Natalie Portman would be the NK role in my mind.
Yes, I think so too. Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah.
And then for Jillian, that one stood out for me for who would be a famous person to play that. Charlize Theron. Charlize Theron.
Oh, excellent. Sure. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, my Jillian. Okay, so Jillian in the book, guys, this is a little spoiler, if that's okay. Sure. Jillian in the book.
Plug your ears.
If you don't want a spoiler. But Jillian, to me, you kind of combine the character of Nicole Atkinson, and Frankie together as a sister instead of a brother.
Right, and also including Jamie too, because I think she looks like Jamie in my head.
I picked Kate Hudson to play her in my version.
Ooh, I like that.
I do like that too. Yeah.
I do too. Yeah, definitely. And maybe someone like I don't know, Chris Pine as my Charlie. I'm trying to think of anyone who would look like him. And there's some, and it has to look like my vision in my head, which is weird. I know. Yeah. Hi, Gingerlocks.
Hey, Gingerlocks. So guys, in the book, what I like about it is it's not just a basic story of what happened. I like in German lady. I like how you added like some paranormal twists into the story, and you also added like a different aspect into it, because that's really what drew me in. Because I was like, to be honest, when I started reading, I was like, here we go. It's just going to basically tell me what
same story, right?
Exactly. Yes. But it really caught me by surprise when you set up the story, because the character, the daughter Kenzie, which is the older daughter,
right?
She has like an intuition, which I found fascinating throughout the whole story. Kind of reminded me of The Shining in a way.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, my God. I didn't even think that, but yeah, definitely. Like, she's got what little Danny had. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes. And what I like is that you connected her with her intuition along with the character of Jillian, who is the main character, Cassandra's sister.
Right.
And how you intertwine that to the end of the book, which we will get to later.
Awesome.
And if you guys like vengeance and good karma, stuff like that, you will enjoy this book.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you. Oh my gosh,
overall, so it took us a while to read it, just simply because we're both busy and stuff, but we kept postponing it to a later time. And I wanted to keep it fresh in my brain, but I know Nicole kept some tabs in her book, so I think she had some questions for you.
Awesome. Perfect.
Yeah. Some questions, some comments. So I'm thinking maybe we can just kind of skim through from beginning to end on some of the comments, and maybe we could all just kind of comment together and whatever.
Perfect.
But one of the first things at the very beginning of the book, I noticed that you were pointing out almost immediately his lack of ability to feel. I really like how you targeted on that, because it's such a reality in the actual case.
Yes.
Yeah. So I just wanted to comment on that. And you did that. You really did a good job of that throughout the book. So
thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Yeah, my editor wanted to put actually an additional disclaimer at the beginning of the book, because it really affected her, especially the prologue. And like I said, when I'm writing it, I'm thinking, okay, I'm the only fool who's going to be bawling. The readers won't, really have that emotion, but I guess it, it hit her, and that's, thank you.
Yeah.
Can I ask a quick question to the chat? Because we're going to be doing a giveaway. We'll do like a question or two, and we'll give away a copy of the book to you guys, maybe a couple of them, so that you guys can read it. But how many people in the chat, can you hit a 1 so we know how many people have read this already? because we're contemplating on some spoilers, but we don't want to, you know, ruin it because we want you guys to, see how good of a book it was.
Aw, thank you.
So hit a 1 in the chat if you've read this, and then just a 2 if you haven't.
I have.
We got some people anxious. Well, what I really like about it, Tanya, is you said that, you know, in the end of the book, I told you I always read the author's comments first before I start reading. And
That's
how
sweet.
you said you cried with your characters, you felt along with your characters.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And that showed too. But hey,
thank you.
Okay,
Aww.
so we got some people in the chat that have definitely read it, some that haven't yet.
Right.
Oh, someone's putting 6s. That's not an option.
Thank you.
That's Lord of Darkness.
Yes, that's funny. Oh my.
Okay, so go ahead, continue, Nicole. I just wanted to see how many people before we get into spoilers.
Oh, that's okay. I was just kind of going through my notes and everything. Just I was reading this particular part towards the end of chapter 2. And on page 22, 23, you did an excellent job of describing how he's getting tired of his family and how he started to focus on the mistress.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think sort of happened. Yeah.
Well, and people of that psyche, once they're not interested, and kind of how you explained it in this book, he wants to discard. And people of that nature do discard.
They do.
Relationships, especially. So, yeah.
Exactly.
I just want to point that out. That was
not
really
quite
good.
In that way, but yeah, they do.
Well, yeah, that's the extreme version, I guess. But
exactly. Oh my.
And then how you also made in the book, at least until the end, but throughout the book, Stephanie is like this this I don't know, hateful, but like spiteful Jezebel.
She is.
That is, you know, like you're like, God, is she going to be in on it too in this book?
Right. And that's how I wanted to write it, so that she has a definite change when she realizes what's going on. Yeah.
Right. And she's definitely more heartless and demanding than I think the real NK was, you know.
Oh, I think so too. So, I think so too. Yep.
See, and I was telling Tanya, like, I actually liked the mistress character when she was first introduced. Then she got a little crazy, you know, with like sitting outside the house in her car, watching the family, stuff like that. But I will say near the end, I love, and we'll get to the end, of course, but I love how things ended up being.
Thank you. Yeah, I wanted her to have a lot of flaws and to be, you know, more of a tragic character. And I think that's what, you know, that's the way she came into Stephanie, at least came across in the book, I'm hoping. But she's a human being, but she is a little bit obsessive, and she's got, you know, the issues, mommy issues from the past and things like that to make her be everything she is, I think. But yeah, thank you.
Yep. And then also what you just mentioned, Robbie, about the whole stalking part, it made me wonder, did that happen in real life at all? Any drive-bys? I
think so. You know, I think so. I think that is actually why she may have pinged in Frederick that day. And I think I have a whole theory about that. I don't know if you guys want to hear it now or not, but I think that well, what I think is that she did drive by often at night. And I think that, I don't know why I'm thinking this, but I believe she did, to see if he's lying. And of course, you know, the front of the house is all closed up. They've got their blinds drawn or whatever. You can't really see much into the house. But I think that on the morning of the 13th, the night before, she knew that Shanann's plane came in later than it was expected to come in. And I believe that Chris Watts was telling Nicole that I'm going to break it off with Shanann tonight. This is the night. It's going to happen. We'll be free tomorrow, on and on, that kind of thing. And she kind of kept nudging him. Are you going to do it? As soon as she walks in, are you going to do it? Are you going to talk to her? Whatever. And the next day, if you'll remember, she sent him a text asking him to prove he was at Survey 319. I think she assumed that he was off with his family. He took the morning off. He was coming in a little bit later just to spend time with his wife and children, because Shanann came in so late and they'd just gotten off, you know, whatever the case may be. I think she drove by maybe to see if his truck was really at his house, or if he was actually gone somewhere, and that would be the innocent reason for her pinging. But I don't know for sure, of course, but yeah, I think she drove by more often than she should have to see what's going on in that house. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I didn't really think about that until I read this book, and it's like I never
really.
I wondered, did NK do that kind of stuff?
I think so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think she was mildly obsessed. Yeah.
And then I just want to get this in real quick. On page 96, what chapter is that? Chapter 15 at the end of.
Okay.
I just was kind of laughing. You used a word that, as far as I can think of, I've never heard of before. I don't even know how to properly pronounce it. And I don't know what it means. And I'm like, oh, she's using big words.
Oh, no, I usually don't.
No, it's a good thing. It's good.
Oh, that's funny.
But the word is clandestine.
Oh, clandestine. Yeah.
I can't even say it right.
Thank you, Ginger Locks, for putting that up for me, though, sweetie. But yeah, no, that's in secret or quietly, and it's a covert operation or a covert action. Done in secrecy, basically. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. I learned
I'm one of those.
That's cute.
I'm one of those people where when I'm reading, if I come across a word that I'm not sure of, I have to, before I continue, I have to Google it really fast. And then
do you really? I skim over it. I always
I'm
go
OCD.
Over it.
I'm like super
I
OCD.
am too, but not for that. I don't know why. But yeah, I do need to know it later. But in the actual moment, I just skim over it and I come back to it later. But that's funny. Yeah, I know what that word is. You're sweet. I had to look up that word as well. Oh, how funny, Megan. You guys.
And also, if you guys have any questions for her, feel free to ask in the chat as well, and I'll keep my eye while Nicole's going through all of her postmarks.
Awesome. Thank you. I'll be happy to answer anything.
Let's see. Page 178. Okay. And I think you use the word more than once, but talking about how he mimics, which is the word I like to use for that too, because it's just spot on. But I think you did an excellent depiction of how he was, the real life Chris Watts, because it fell over into this book.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to peg him pretty closely, and I think that when Lena's book was out and I was, wrapping things up on mine, I literally bought it because I couldn't wait to read it. And I read like one chapter and I'm thinking, okay, well, she's pretty much diagnosing him the same way I'm writing him. So I got to stop. I'm not going to look at any more of her words until this is all wrapped up. But I wanted to, kind of peg him like that. And I'm glad to hear, that the reader said that, that I did that. Thank you very much. I tried. Yeah. The lights. Oh my.
Let's see, page 186. And throughout that part of the book, you had mentioned, he started to get mad that Jillian was there. What was she doing there so early? Right. And, basically what a pain in the ass Jillian's been all along, and especially now. Right. And how he was kind of thinking, God, I should, kill her too. And then the whole thing with the neighbor, Yeah. And it's like, it makes me wonder, did Watts think that way? Like, that Atkinson,
I think so.
Can't stand her, Or as he's sitting there in Nate's house, rocking back and forth, watching the screen, if he's all like, I want to kill this guy so bad.
I think so. I do think so.
I just kind of wonder.
And then, I made her into an elderly woman and husband, the elderly couple next door for a couple reasons. I did that for a couple reasons. But I think mostly, Nate, was he nosy? I don't know. He looks like he is, but I'm not sure. But, an old lady living right next door to a bunch of children. She's going to be looking over the fence and whatever, and so I think it may have run through his head, oh my God, Nicole Atkinson, if you only weren't here, how much better my life would be. So I think you would be thinking the same thing about Jill, my Charlie. I think so. That's
Can funny. I just pause and say I cast the character of that older lady next door to be Dolly Parton?
You didn't tell me that.
Beautiful. I love it. Oh my, that would be perfect.
Friendly and cute, and she's like, "Come over, and really I'll give you brownies and whatever."
Yeah. That's exactly good. Perfect. I love Dolly. Oh my God.
And we do have a question for you from Platinum 21. They said, how long did it take you to write the book?
That one was only about 5 or 6 months. It was really quick. I cranked out one book in like 2 months a few years ago, but the longest book I think took a little bit over a year because I was working with an elderly woman. It was difficult to get enough information when I needed it. But I'm a speedy writer. I really am. And if I have the information I need and the story in my head or whatever, it's so quick. So yeah.
You want to know my problem? I would love to write stories because I have so many literally movies inside of my head. But my problem is I can't write.
I bet you could. Okay, now here's the thing.
Why do you say that?
Because, my punctuation is terrible, number one. I don't even know really how to form a paragraph, to be honest. I have so many stories in my head that are so crazy, but I just can't get them out.
But Robbie, if you can speak and you think very eloquently, you don't have flaws in your grammar in a spoken word. If you can talk, you can write. It's just you just write how you talk. The same type of cadence and the same type of language that you use. I try to use very simple language when I write, so that people don't get hung up on words like clandestine. I'm sorry about that. But if you can talk, you can write. I tell everyone that. Believe me, you can. Try it. And, there'll be an editor out there to edit your work if you get a publisher or whatever. And don't worry about the grammatical. And you catch a lot of it on spell check anyway, or Grammarly or whatever. So just start. Do it, Robbie. Do it.
Yeah, well, I'll give it a try and see what happens.
I'll help you edit if you want me to.
I don't think you want to do that. You'll probably look at my work and then throw it back and be like, that was a mistake.
Yeah, no, don't worry. Anyone who tries, I appreciate their effort. And I think everyone can be a writer. It's so easy. Yeah.
Well, storytelling is fun. I love storytelling. It's just grammar and punctuation and all that.
I have faith you can do it. Even a short story. Do even a short story.
I think Robbie would be a great writer. With all that goes on in his head, he could really spit out some stories,
Oh, yeah.
I could come out with some thriller and some horrors, yeah.
You should.
Here's another question before Nicole gets back to hers. Will you ask Tanya if she thinks Chris ever loved his children?
I don't know that Chris had the capacity or has the capacity to truly love anyone. If I'm correct that he's some sort of, a sociopath or psychopath or whatever, I don't know that they have pleasant feelings, but I don't know that they ever really know love. I don't think so. If that diagnosis is correct, and I'm not a psychologist or anything like that, but that's the way I see him. I don't know if he had anything, he may have had pleasure from being around them, but I don't think it was love. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry, Nicole, but before I don't want to forget this thought because I didn't write down. I wasn't organized like Nicole. I didn't put post-its in my book.
You're
I was
funny.
But
see, that's how I'm OCD.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, my daughter does that too. Notes everywhere. Oh my gosh.
So the characters in the book that play like the Watts parents, like Chris's parents, Charlie Spencer. We keep referring to Charlie, guys, because that is the name of Chris's character in the book, Charlie Spencer. His parents really aren't in the book that much. Was there a specific reason for that, or?
Oh no, not at all. I just, for one thing, I knew the Watts family had been through heck, and I didn't want to say anything that would dig up anything more for them to worry about people, poking at them about something I wrote in a book. So no, I kept them out more or less. And the only reason why the other family, the Redmonds, were in the book more often is because I picked their location in San Diego to be where the family, vacations every year, that type of thing. I needed one or the other set of parents, and I didn't want to get into any kind of stress between my main character and her mother-in-law or anything like that. So I left them out until I think the hearing for his sentencing scene or something like that. But yeah, and I threw his brother in there a little bit. Again, he's got a brother in the book and she has a sister. I literally just swapped that out of there. But no, there's no reason other than I didn't want to add any stress to that family, anything more than they needed. No.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I cast his brother to be Justin Timberlake.
That's another one you didn't tell me. That's hilarious.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. Brother Todd. Oh, thank you, Leisha. Oh,
so
you
funny,
poor
Robbie.
thing. Good night, Leisha. Thank you for reading the book. That is so sweet. I appreciate everything.
Yeah,
Everyone
get
that
better,
reads it, I
Leisha.
Aw, feel
She's
better,
my good
definitely.
friend from she's my good friend from school. She finished the book like weeks ago as soon as she got it. And I was like, I'm taking my time.
Aw, that's funny.
So I know she was excited.
Oh, I'm glad. Thank you, Leisha. That's so sweet.
I'm excited for next Wednesday, Leisha.
Oh, that's right. You guys are going to do that thing. Yeah. That's funny.
We are, yeah. So I also was going to say too, I mean, there was more focus on throughout the book. If you guys read it, you'll see that there's a lot of focus on the paranormal part of it, which leads into the ending of the story. But it really is only, if you guys read this book, you'll see that what I liked about it was you were from different perspectives. Each chapter is from a different person's point of view throughout the book.
Right.
And I really, really liked that because I'm a person that likes to put myself in other people's shoes. So it's easy to do that in the book for sure.
Yeah, I do that too. And I thought, well, I've got to get into the killer's head. And I did it. And it wrecked me. I'm telling you, I was a mess. Really, I was. And but I had to do it. And, you know, it was really pleasant writing Kenzie's part. Because I'm just thinking this sweet, innocent little girl and, you know, how she's seeing everything. Yeah, that was different. You know, I don't think have I ever done that before? I don't think I've ever done that before where I've switched characters per chapter and I usually tell a book from one point of view, period. But yeah, it was you know, interesting doing it that way. Thank you.
Well, I'm definitely excited to read your other books now as well to see what you do with those. Is it more this genre or like what kind of genre?
I am all over the board with genre. If you want to read a book with a similar feeling but a little bit of humor, I mean, it's not about a murder, but The Haunting of Tinley Hall, I think, is my favorite book that I have written, my favorite fictional book that I've written. And I literally will reread that book. If you like the sort of ending that we had in this book, I think you'll really love my Tinley. So yeah, and then the other stuff is I've got dystopian, I've got some horror, and you know, whatever, wherever my head goes, I do.
Ooh, maybe I'll do the horror one next.
That's what I was just thinking of. That's my favorite. So.
We should do that together.
Yeah.
Nicole. I like reading
books. Ooh, we should. And we'll have you on again round 2 with that book.
Yeah, and I think
okay. Sorry, I interrupted you. Like,
no, I've got a little bit of delay.
What's the title of that book?
The one that's my ghost book. It's called The Haunting of Tinley Hall, and Tinley is actually a girl's name. Tinley Hall is her name. I put like a little twist in the title there, but it's you know, it has. I cry. I will reread the last 3 chapters and cry and cry and cry. I mean, it's very similar feeling to the end of this book, different circumstances and whatever. But that's kind of one of my favorite books right now. So I don't know. Of my own, not my favorite book in the world, of course not, but yeah, I really like that one. I think you guys would too.
Well, I think we need to order that, Robbie, tonight.
I will definitely do that.
Oh, that would be super duper. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Well, Nicole's really fun to read books with because her and I stay in contact like all day long anyways through voice messaging. And like as we're reading books, I'll be like, sorry, get back to the book. And then I'll bug her some more about it.
Oh, that's funny.
And I'm like, what chapter are you on? Okay. You're 2 ahead of me. I got to get caught up.
Yeah.
Oh, how cute. I love that. Yeah, no one will read with me except when I've got 2 people, my 2 best friends in the world, Natalie and David Smith. Now, David Smith is the guy I literally based Leave Jim Alone on my best guy friend, David Smith. And I will send these 2 people and my mother and my mother-in-law chapter by chapter as I write it. So that's sort of like reading together, I guess, you know, to make sure that whatever feedback they have, I can change immediately. And so yeah, that's kind of reading with other people, but not quite what you guys do. That's cool though. I love it.
Yeah. Well, plus we're really into the Watts case, so we were excited to read this anyways.
Thank you. Yes, me too.
And I want to point out,
Robbie.
That would be fun. We should.
Do what? I can hear that.
Start a book club.
You should. Oh my gosh, I'll join. Yeah. Long distance book club. Yeah, definitely.
We're like, okay,
oh my
Tanya, time to write another one. We're
Yeah,
done
right.
with the
I
other
know,
one.
right? Oh gosh, yeah. I've got a couple right now that I'm, getting ready to dive into, but we'll see.
Oh, can't wait. So
Yeah.
I wanted to point out to people too, if you haven't read this book, because some people are sensitive to the story or the subject. I want to point out that whether you're like, no matter what side of the fence you are, because obviously there is sides of the fence, unfortunately, to this case, whether you're a Watts or the Ruseks, whatever, I think anybody can take away from this book that good karma, a good ending as far as a happy ending, because they're really, and you're like, how could there be a happy ending with a book like this? There truly is.
Thank you.
And before we get into that, I want to see what else Nicole had in that, and then we can move to that part, because that's what I was most excited to talk about.
Thank you.
It's my favorite part of the book was the end.
Yeah,
thank you.
So we'll do that right now, because the last thing that I kind of had pegged to talk about, we already kind of did, which was the ghost of Kenzie.
Sure.
I thought the fascinating part, just adding all that in, was like, wow, that was a really cool twist.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you guys don't like spoilers, we're not going to spoil it completely, because I encourage you guys to read this. However, in the end, how do I say this without spoiling it? Because I really don't want to spoil it completely. Nicole, how would we say that? There's
like how the end goes?
Yeah, after the murders happen, there's I will say this, there's a waiting room, a waiting area, because I want to point out this part kind of to show people how good you were at twisting this part of the story.
Oh, thank you.
So if you guys remember, in the police footage on the body cams, when they're looking through, they hear a little girl's laugh. You could hear it in the video. And they're like, what was that? Well, Tanya gets creative and she adds the paranormal part into it, as if it's not heaven. It's like a waiting room for heaven, right?
Right. Like an in-between place. Yeah.
Like a purgatory?
No, because it's where the character of the mother and the two daughters go after they get murdered. So they're in this waiting room, and the oldest daughter, she's like the character that would represent Bella. She wants to go and kind of explore, and the other ones can't talk, right? They're just sitting there not talking. And Bella is more like Kenzie is more the curious one. So she goes and it explains how you hear that giggling, but I won't give it away too much.
Yes, and that's what I hope to do. I tried to explain everything, even like the wrapping of the doll and how that was related to what Bella or like Kenzie was able to do, her little, her hidden abilities and things like that. So I tried to wrap everything the way I think. Gosh, I hope it happened that way. I really hope, with a lot of hope. But and then Chris had told someone that all the lights were on in his house, the day after, or the night after, I think it was the night of the 14th, or maybe the 13th, I don't remember. But I explained that by way of a supernatural connection and, different things. I tried to cover it all. I don't know, but thank you.
Do you want to explain to them why you added that in there? Because most people would be like, oh, they're just trying to make it like a entertaining, but that's not what you did with this book. You didn't throw it in there just to be entertaining. There was an actual purpose why you did that, to add some closure to people. So do you kind of want to touch on that?
That's why I did the whole book. I mean, I did it for myself to get some closure, because these feel like my kids. She felt like my sister, that was, and it as I wrote it, even though I was a basket case writing it, I was getting closure. Like, let's hope it happened this way. And I can really see that this could be a possibility. And let's hope that that's what happened to them after their lives were taken here on Earth. And, again, I wanted the families to read this book. And again, I think Cindy Watts has read it. But I wanted them to get closure. A book is not going to give closure and, whatever. But I wanted them to think about a different scenario where things might be okay now, and things, their family is fine. And that was my intent. I wanted to offer, a little bit of hope and an uplifting ending to everyone, whether they're just people like us who are armchair sleuths or whatever, or even the family members. So yeah, that was my intent at least, but I don't know.
I would love to hear what Cindy Watts would have to say about it if she read the book.
Yeah,
wow.
And I haven't talked to her. I've never spoken to Cindy. I've spoken to Jamie just through social media. What a sweet girl. And I know I have a few friends who actually communicate with them more or less regularly, and they're a wonderful family. I don't know what else to say about them, but I'd like to know what she thought too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So Nicole, what did you think about the ending?
I thought it just was very unexpected, the way everything went. And I kind of had to read back. I'm like, wait a minute, is this really what is going on, or did I miss something? And I went back and I started reading it, and it's just amazing. I mean, it's just wonderful writing. I loved it. What a creative way to end that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So creative.
I want to thank you. I wanted to wrap it and again give some hope to some people, to everyone really. And of course I've gotten people have shot daggers at me saying, "Who are you to try to give closure to the family?" and whatever. I it was all in good intentions. It had nothing to do with me being evil, Tanya, or whatever.
Well,
but
Tonya, my interactions with you, I think I can't even remember when I discovered you, but it was within the last month or two.
Yeah, a few months. Yeah,
I came across your channel because Tanya does have a channel, and we'll put the link. Can somebody put the link in the chat?
Oh, thank you.
And she does have a channel as well. So I came across that, and I'm like, oh, okay, she's the author of this book, and I really have to be interested in a book to read it. So I was kind of hesitant because I'm like, okay, I already read one about the Watts, whatever, but this one, it's not just fictional just to get attention and write a story. Right. It was for a purpose. And I don't know. The end of it, I was so excited because normally Nicole's the fast reader. I'm the slower one. And I text her, I was like, you got to finish the book. I want to hear what you have to say at the end of it. Because, you think with a story like this, like, okay, we already know the ending. What can she possibly do that's different? Right. Completely different than you guys would expect.
You don't know this ending.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, it's a huge twist. And I will say one hint, this isn't a spoiler, but there is a tornado involved.
There is. Yes. I had to throw that tornado in there. Yeah.
You will never guess when or where it happens either.
Right.
No, you won't.
Right.
You won't.
Isn't that funny? Oh my gosh. But I had to take care of that loose end, and I figure, I did a lot of research on that kind of thing happening in real life, and it turns out that was an okay. This kind of thing has actually happened, more than once, and so I said, okay, that's the way we're going to do it. So I did.
You sure did.
It was fabulous.
Yeah.
It was fabulous.
Thank you.
I gotta be honest. Thank you, Gingerlocks. I was reading that part, Tanya, and I was like, as soon as I started reading it, I was like, I know where this is going.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a little treat for the readers that want a little bit of justice out there.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Oh,
right.
No,
there's a little bit of supernatural justice in the end, and a little bit of redemption too for the killer, but not much, but a little bit. Hi, Foxy baby.
And you know what? Honestly, what I want to say about that is I've spoken very openly about just forgiveness in general on YouTube. And I've often said, I even made a video saying Chris Watts has my forgiveness, because to me, I know a lot of people are like, no, my God, this is a terrible crime. And I know that I'm not justifying it in any way, but I believe that there's redemption for everybody. And you touched on that a little bit in this book, which was nice. A lot of people are just like, oh, I hope he burns in hell for eternity. If you think that way, you will get a little bit of justice out of this book.
Yeah, that's true.
Which I think most people do. People aren't.
I know.
Many people are not quite as empathetic. Is that the right word to use? As Robbie is.
Yeah.
He's very patient. He's very forgiving. I wish I was more like that, but no, I do feel differently about that. about Chris
Well, I
Watts.
didn't, if it were to happen to my family, and like I said, Angela Cannon, beautiful woman, she has actually forgiven her daughters, or she's thinking about it rather, her daughter and grandson's killer. If it was my daughter, I don't know if I could go that far. I really don't know.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah. But
and I know it's not for them, it's for yourself to help you heal. I mean, I totally get that.
Sure,
but,
sure.
Boy,
that's a tough one. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, and I will say too, the character of Charlie Spencer in this, there was a part where you didn't feel bad for him, but you saw almost this human side of him at one point in the book.
Yes.
And it's in a least expected area as well, to almost where you're like, oh my God, I want things to work out for this whole situation. But then, of course, justice takes over. And yes.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I think I wanted to include a little bit for everyone to get some comfort. That's what I wanted to wrap this book the way I did. That was, always when I write, I don't take notes. I don't, never when I'm writing a book. The only notes I take are the people's names, the characters' names. And sometimes they'll come to me and say, my name is Cassandra, and boom, that's it. But I don't take notes as I'm writing, but a lot of times I know the ending. I know the ending at the very beginning, and sometimes I'll even jump ahead and write the ending and then alter it as needed, as depending on what happened in the rest of the book. But I always jump to the ending in my head, which is funny. I don't know. I'm a really weird writer, so I don't know. But
hey,
well, you know what? Honestly, that makes sense. The way you wrote the book and lined things up for this crazy twist ending. You could see signs of it. Now looking back, reading the beginning, I was like, now I know why she did that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and I will fit the details to the ending of the story usually. And I did the same thing with all my books. Every one of my books, and every one of my books does have a twist ending. I don't think I've ever
love all of them.
Doesn't. Yeah. Everyone. So that's what I do. That's funny.
I'm excited for your next book now.
Me too.
Thank you.
Robbie's book club.
Yes, there we go. I love it.
So what would be a good trivia question? Because I'm going to give away a copy of mine or reorder it, because I did read it in the bathtub and got it a little, bent.
Oh, that's funny. Oh my God.
Mine is chewed a little bit by birds on the side.
Oh, that's cute.
Butters is being very silent tonight, by the way. So
Butters isn't here,
What would be a good trivia question, guys, to ask? Does anybody want to? You could pick one if you want to, Tanya, or anybody want to pick a trivia question for the first? Sure. Yeah. I mean, because not everyone read the book, so.
About the Watts case, let me think. Oh my gosh. Usually I can come up with things. Yeah, but
while she's thinking of that, guys, I will tell you. Like I said, if you're expecting, if you've been hesitant to read this to be like, oh, okay, boo, just another Watts book, you will be pleasantly surprised with the entire storyline of this, because it's a fiction, and she takes you on a different perspective fantasy ride of the story and makes it magical, literally magical. Oh, and there is magic in it too. Like
there is.
I won't give that away. We'll let them. But there is magic.
Very good. Well. Oh, yeah, that's fine. How about something as simple as when Chris Watts was at the Survey 319, he was there alone that morning, and then I believe 2 or 3 people showed up from his office.
That is another part of the story.
And name one of them. Or if you can name 2, that's even better.
Oh, yeah. Do you know the answer?
About that?
Whoever pops it first.
Well, I'm on panel, so I won't say anything, but are you asking for their actual names, or like who were they, kind of a thing?
How about their name? Just the first name of anyone who appeared later that morning.
Oh, you'd have to be. Oh, okay, that's a good one.
That is a good question.
Is that a deep one? Okay.
So whoever answers that correctly, I will mail you a copy of the book.
Yay!
Oh, someone said Troy Cody.
Yes, that is correct. That's one of them.
There was 3 though, I think.
Yeah.
Does it have to just be one or all of them?
I'm just going to make sure I know one of the other names. Hold on. But it's the third name. I can't remember. But either of those two would work.
Because Mary Lopez said Troy first.
That's correct. That's one of them.
Have to be on live chat, by the way, guys. Not top chat.
That was such a good question. I like that.
Oh, thank you.
That was a good question.
And it's funny that you bring that up because if you really sit back and think about it and just kind of picture that morning there at Serby 319, he continued to stay there. I think he left around 11 o'clock because then coworkers started to show up and things like that. Where his whole family's there dead, and he's just going about his morning playing it off.
Yes.
Hey guys.
Oh my gosh. It looks like
the first person to answer. Who got it? Who got all three of them?
Foxy Lady.
I don't want to say them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's Foxy Lady got it.
Okay, so I'm actually going to order you a brand new one, Foxy Lady, since you got all three. But since Mary got just one of them first, I'll mail her my copy. How about that?
Oh, that's so cool. Yay. Congrats, guys.
Both you have my email address, but I'll put it up again. And I don't know, Nicole, do you want to give away your copy or are you going to give it to?
Oh, yeah, no, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to do one more question?
Because Caitlin was just in here. I don't know if she is still in here. I know she's supposed to be coming over. She just said in here, though, that she wants to read this. So I will absolutely send it after, but I mean,
let her read it first.
So, okay.
Very cool. Right.
Yeah.
Very cool. And how about this? I'll throw in one too. I'll throw in another one. So if you guys want to come up with, and then you guys give your address to Robbie and he'll get it to me. That's probably easiest, I think, rather than putting up mine. Yeah. But mine's in my description and every one of my videos if you go over there and see it. But think of another trivia question, guys. You want to do one now? Or?
Oh boy. Okay. Of the Watts case?
Go ahead and I'll just be the Vanna White.
There you go. Perfect, Vanna.
Oh, there's just so much. Okay. This is kind of a weird one, but it's coming to mind.
Yeah.
Does anybody offhand, hurry up, tight, fast if you know, don't Google it. What's the address of the Watts house? Numbers and street.
Ooh, first one. Come on, guys.
Ooh. This is going to be a quick one. Watch.
Right.
Yeah. I don't even know the exact numbers.
Yeah, I don't know either. And I've been there like 5 times.
I know. That's funny. Oh my.
Oh, Mary's going to donate her copy?
Nobody's saying anything yet.
Not yet.
Wow.
2825. Is that right?
Yeah, but what's the street name?
Mia got it.
We need the
Mia
full
got
address.
it.
Oh, I guess I don't see it yet.
Yeah, it looks like Mia got it.
Did I miss hers?
Yeah, she's
Yeah, if you guys are on live chat, Mia got the full address correctly. It is
Oh, there we go. I'm looking at the wrong chat.
Saratoga Trail.
Perfect. Perfect.
That's it.
Yay, Mia.
So,
and Mia, you can just send me your mailing address. That's fine. You know I love you. So
oh, there you go.
Yeah, perfect. Congratulations. Yay.
Yeah.
And let me know how to sign it.
Oh, she's gonna get a signed copy.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even have a signed copy.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so here's the deal. We'll do one more question. Nicole, just give your copy to Caitlin because Mary's going to donate hers. So we'll just do one more question to donate hers to whoever.
Wonderful. Okay.
So that works out perfectly.
So are you leaving it up to us to come up with the third question?
You do it, Robbie.
Oh, okay.
Robbie.
I'll do one.
Yeah.
Okay.
You do it, Robbie.
Let's see.
Hi, Lupa.
Well, no, I'm not going to do a question about the book. I'll do one about... Let me think of a good one. We'll mix it with my next live next week and the Watts case.
Ooh.
What is my Halloween costume going to be exactly?
Oh, I know. That's funny. Yeah, it's real specific, guys. I love it though.
It is specific.
Oh boy.
Because we are doing Watts themed, but
That's gonna be a good one.
I wish people could put GIFs or pictures.
Right, yeah.
I
We'd love to
know,
see
you
their
can't. That
pictures
kind
pop
of
up.
stinks, yeah.
Oh, Leather and
Leather
Lace
and
got
Lace.
it.
Yeah.
Pinocchio and Chris Watts.
Leather and Lace got it, I think. Yes.
Yes.
Who? Oh,
Just
Leather and
double
Lace.
check. Yes.
Awesome.
There
Yeah,
you
that
go.
was the
Okay,
first
so
one to do
if
it.
you email me, I will send you a copy.
Oh, Mia, thank you.
Awesomeness.
You're so sweet. Yeah, very cool.
And guys-
Okay.
And I really did want to give spoilers, but again, like I feel like that would be rude, especially having the author here with us, because I want people to read your book. Like,
Thank you.
I
Well,
want them to though, because it's really, really an enjoyable read. It really was.
Thank you. Oh, you guys are so sweet. I can't believe. I mean, I really appreciate all this because and I've been kind of down about the whole thing lately. But thank you guys. That really makes me happy.
Well, Tanya,
thank you.
let me tell you, like meeting you and hearing how nice and cheery you are all the time. You're always in a good mood, always being sweet, just very like listening to your voice. You just get happy listening to the tone in your voice.
Thank you.
So,
you're so sweet.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I've seen kind of the backlash and the anger towards you. And after reading the book, I completely don't get it, because your book offers peace, and it offers it offers love and a happy, good ending for everybody, not just one side. And it's very loving and kind. And I really, even if the Rusaks were listening or anybody, I suggest reading it, because it actually is a peaceful, it'll give you some sort of peace and hope. That's what it gives you.
Thank you. That was my whole goal. Thank you. That was exactly what I intended. And that's why I did it as a fictional book, because I could do that and maybe change even one person's heart a little bit and give them the tiniest bit of healing. I don't know. But thank you. You guys are so wonderful. I appreciate everything you said. That's so sweet.
Well, if you take a look at the true crime community, even just here on YouTube, I think it could bring peace together with even people that bicker with each other about different opinions on this case, because it's just a good feeling that you get from it. As terrible of a story, like as traumatizing and horrible the story is, you really don't put the book down like being sad or disappointed about the situation.
Thank you. Oh, that's so sweet. No, I'm going to cry. No, I won't. I'm trying not to cry. I cry way too much.
Cry.
Oh my God, stop.
It's always been one of my life goals to say I made an author of a book cry. Just kidding.
Well, no, anybody could make me cry. Trust me, guys. I'm a big ball of tears like all the time. You're so sweet, you guys. I appreciate it.
Was there anything that you wanted to add, Tanya or Nicole, about maybe other books or this or anything else?
Other than I'm just excited to read the one that we're going to order tonight.
We're ordering it tonight.
Thank you. And it's short. I think it's only like 70K words. It's a little bit shorter, but thank you. I appreciate that. You're so sweet. But yeah, that's I don't think I wanted to add really anything. I could talk about nothing forever, but Sally, that's so sweet.
Thank you.
That's neat.
My
I love
aunt,
that.
By the way, I love her.
Contribute. Oh, she's your aunt. Okay, that's right. I remember you mentioned your aunt. I didn't remember her name though. I'm terrible with names. I swear. Names and faces. I don't know why, but.
Mary Lopez is saying it definitely shows how talented you are.
That's so sweet. But no, thank you guys for having me, and thank you for reading my stuff. I totally appreciate. I'm always so shocked if someone's actually read my stuff. I'm like, really? You read my stuff? Thank you, though.
Well, we're about to read another one.
Exactly.
I know, that's so cool. Thank you. And that's again, it's got a twist ending, and that's what I do with all my books. And I think that you might figure out the ending, but I don't know. A lot of people didn't. Only a couple people that were my beta readers thought they figured it out. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate it, and how nice to have a pleasant conversation with you guys, and nothing about bullying really or anything. It's raw. It gets hard. I love doing YouTube, and I love that kind of thing, but I don't get the bullying, and I don't. I just whatever. People are people.
I will say
I guess.
too,
it's crazy.
It just the way that you worded everything in the book too. It was, I mean, at first, of course, you're just thinking you're going to, everything about the book and stuff. That's why but the end, what you were just saying specifically, the very, very, very ending of the book, what do you call that? An epilogue, right?
I made it an epilogue, right? That's what I always do. I do a lot of epiloguing.
Yeah. So that part, when you first start reading it, you're kind of like, is this a different book? Like a beginning of a different book we're talking about?
Right.
But then it all, like, it's the cherry on top of the twist that you already added, which made it even more of a twist. So there's really like two twists.
That's true. There is. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys so much. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you, Gingerlock. She put up the link to the Haunting of Tinley Hall too. Thank you. You're so sweet. I haven't talked to you in a long time, but thank you. You guys are all so nice in here. Oh my gosh, everybody's so supportive and kind. I love that. You got a good audience.
Yeah, well, Leather and Lace is asking what book we're reading next. It's the one that she just said. It's Tania Hagan's book, The Haunting of Tinley Hall.
Yes.
Can you give us kind of some information on like what it's about without giving anything away?
Sure. I really can't get too far into it, but a young girl falls down a set of stairs, like her parents' house. She's like 18 years old. She her parents own a Victorian mansion, whatever, and she falls down a big staircase, and things go from there. Nothing really is what you think it's going to be or whatever, and that's really all I can give away without giving away the actual story.
Okay.
But and it's a love story, and it's also sort of a scary, not a scary book. It's a sort of haunting. It's not a horror book though. That's kind of what it is. It's about her life. What's going on and what's not going on and whatever. And the ending, when you think all hope is lost, the ending, boom, another twist. So it's uplifting, I think, and I love it. I always cry when I read the last couple chapters, and I do that. I don't know why I go back and do that all the time. I do. I'm just
That's
weird.
Good though. It means you care about. You're passionate about it.
Yes, thank you. That's one of the books that I really actually enjoy of my own. But yeah, thank you. Gosh, thank you guys for reading it and for reading No Inclination too.
Yes. Well, thank you for I was so excited to I was like, because you were like, hey, here's my book or whatever. And I was like, yes, I want to do a review on that too. And I did not expect you to say, oh, I'll come on and talk about it. I was like, really?
Oh yeah, of course. Oh my God, I love your channel. And anytime you guys want me up here, let me know. And I'll be less busy after this weekend is over. But I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm getting messages. I saw something shiny and I looked away.
I do the same thing.
I know. Right?
I do that when I'm talking on here by myself.
I know. Oh my God. Yeah. So we have the same train of thought or whatever you want to call it. But no, guys, anytime you want me up here, I really appreciate it. And I love you guys. You're awesome. Just awesome people. And I'm really proud to be here, actually.
Aww.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here. I was kind of hesitant, on how I wanted to do the review because, of course, it's a controversial subject and stuff. But after reading it, I was like, there's no way that this is controversial at all. It's
Thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're saying that because everybody thinks, why would I want to read, whatever. But I think that I tried. I tried, and I appreciate the fact that you take that away. That's awesome. I love it.
Well, I think it's a book that definitely can bring people together on this topic for sure.
Thank you.
Like hands down, there's no question about that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Oh gosh, so yeah, that was what I planned. That's what I hope to do, and I don't think I'll get my wish of the families coming together and being friendly, but I think they could share in their grief and share in memories, and they could eventually. I would love to have them together, but I don't think that'll happen, and whatever. But I think they can both bring away something positive from my book. I hope, but maybe not. The way things have been going lately, maybe not. I don't know. So thank you, Gingerlock. She ordered my hunting.
Yes, Gingerlocks.
I really appreciate that. Thank you. But
I did want to mention also, now that you mentioned that there is a part in the book where a character that you wouldn't think would even want to help out another one of the characters does.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Near the end?
Exactly. Yes,
And I was like,
know.
oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
So.
and that's sort of the way. Yeah, I wanted to make and that the Tammy Lee character is played by my dear friend Julie Jackson. She fits that role perfectly, and I do that though. I put my friends' names, my family's names into books, which is why one of the reasons I named Cassandra Sandra. My aunt's name is Sandy, and I've never done a book with her name in it before. But so yeah, I'm weird like that.
Name.
Yeah. That's funny. Oh my God, how funny.
You know who I cast to play your Tammy character, the detective lady? Julie? Sarah Paulson, which Plumie.
Ooh, I like that.
That's right.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's perfect. Definitely.
Yeah. And then Jude Law was her sidekick.
There we go. Yeah, the FBI guy or whatever.
Yeah.
Perfect. I love it. I love it. Aw. Thank you,
Yeah.
Connie. That is so sweet. Oh, you have a lovely following here. Oh my gosh, everybody's so kind. I really appreciate that. Yeah. Good for you. That's really nice. That's nice to see a good audience like that.
Yeah.
Yes, Gina, the book is out. If you're talking about, both of the books are out. The horror one we're talking about and No Inclination.
Correct. Right. Yeah.
And you can get those. Tanya's link, I think it's still in the. You know what? I need to pin your link to the top.
Yeah, and everything should be Amazon, Barnes and Noble, wherever you want to grab it from, certainly online. If they don't have it at Barnes and Noble, they'll order it for you if they don't have them on the actual shelves. But yeah, and or I send most people to Amazon, but it's all over the internet, wherever you buy books mostly. I'm losing my voice. I'm so sorry.
Before we go, Kim is saying, who do you pick for CW? I picked my CW character to be Ryan Felipe because I pictured him as a blonde as well. I didn't know.
I think he had brown. I think my Charlie looked a lot like Chris Watts.
That's how I pictured it in my head. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that poor stock model guy that's on the front of my book. I hope he can actually get work after that.
He's hot.
Hold that thought. That was my last question. How did you get the cover to this? Because he is hot.
Yeah, it's at my publisher, she assigns cover artists who are in the company to do everyone's book. And it was a stock model guy. And I was like, oh, that looks like Chris Watts. Let's use him. And so that she designs the cover for your book or whatever. And I can't do any of that graphic stuff. But yeah, I figured he looked enough like Watts. Poor guy. I hope he can get other work now.
He's way hotter than Watts.
Exactly. Yes. Same hairdo, same facial hair. That's all I needed. But definitely.
He kind of looked like Ryan Felipe. Maybe that's why I was like,
kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes. That's.
Oh, and then the character of Cassandra's mom, Shanann's mom, I cast Susan Sarandon as her.
Perfect.
And then as Watt's mother, Charlie Spencer's, I cast Diane Keaton, even though she wasn't in it that much.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, Diane would do something like, she's still alive, right? Oh, I feel terrible even asking.
Yes. I know. I ask questions like that all the time.
I know.
Me too.
Oh, forgive me, lady, but whatever.
It's fine. Diane Keaton, she's kind of the same in everything. So I tried to mix her up a little bit different in this book, but she wasn't anything in this book really. So I was like, oh, we'll just throw Diane Keaton in there.
Her in the courtroom thing or whatever. Yeah, and that's another thing I wanted to get the sister, Jillian, to kind of have the sympathy for his family as well and openly in the book. And I was hoping that would be, a way for everyone out there to see that these families are equally suffering and they don't need to be at odds with each other and they don't need to be picked on and crucified in social media and whatever. But, I like I said, I tried. There's nothing. Sometimes you can't fix anything, but yeah, it was a journey for sure. I'm glad you guys read it and liked it and
loved it.
Thank you. Aw, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It was absolutely. I enjoyed it, and I'm excited, especially the way you word stuff, because I get bored very easily. So if something is not worded correctly, or just I get very bored, and I love the fact that your chapters are so short.
Yes, thank you.
There was a lot of them, but it was easy, especially since I had to keep putting the book down and doing my life. it was nice that there were short chapters to do that.
Thank you. And I do that with my paragraphs too. Instead of, I'll have like a 1 or 2 word paragraph, literally, rather than keeping the long, chunky paragraph. We learned that in news writing, in news reporting. But I think I cut my paragraphs probably more often than pretty much anybody out there. But I do that for the same reason, to keep attention and make sure that you guys don't get lost and get bored, and the readers can get through it easily. So thank you for noticing all that. I appreciate it. But I'm glad you guys liked it. That's so sweet. Oh, those are my dogs. You'll hear their
hey puppy.
yeah, they heard a noise or something out front. But thank you again. This is really cool. Anytime you want me, I'll be here.
So guys, the next book, if you want to read along with us again, is called, what is it again before we go? Haunting
of... That's what I don't remember.
Hold on, I wrote it down. The Haunting of Tinley Hall, right?
Tinley Hall. Yeah, Tinley Hall, yeah. Okay. And again, that's her name. I wanted to make The Haunting of to be a series, and I literally go off in left field and do other things, and I have never done it. But the next book, if I do make that a series, it will be The Haunting of Patterson Woods, I think was the name that I came up with. But yeah, if I do that, I've got so many works in progress I've got like 4 books that are half done on my desktop, and I'll get to them someday, but Oh, it's raining here. That's
Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Mary.
Nice.
Yeah.
What did Mary say? Oh, it was well written.
Well, and she spelled.
Thank you, Mary. That is so sweet. Oh my gosh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you, Gingerlocks. She has a link right there.
Yeah, Gingerlocks has been on top of it the whole time. Thank you.
Oh, I know. Thank you, Gingerlocks. You're so sweet.
Well, thank you guys so much for what?
Oh, I was just talking about how Kathy Bates can play any role. I agree with Unjustified.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, I'll give her that.
I love her too. She's amazing. Yeah. What a nice.
Nicole, are they talking to you?
Oh, Cat in the Hat. Yes. I'm going to do my own live. Because I have that letter from Betty Broderick when her and I corresponded back in 2002. I have a letter from her that I saved. So.
And I was obsessed with that case too, but I still don't know how to feel about it. So that's another, another whole thing.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
So, always interested me. So.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. But thank you guys, and thank you for everybody who's gonna read it, or and Mia, make sure to text me or call me or whatever to give me your address. I don't think I have it, but get it through to me when you can, and I'll send you a book.
Yeah, and thank you, Mary, I like when people, when they say, oh, no, I don't want it, that's okay. Because, a lot of people, they don't like doing giveaways on here, and I don't blame them, because they're like, I don't want to give out my address. I don't want to do that. So I like when people, say, I want to donate mine. I don't want it, because then that gives somebody else an opportunity.
Exactly. But as an author, I do every other book except for this one, I do like a big social media release party, and I give away tons of stuff and whatever. But for this book, I didn't feel that I could do a release party because the subject matter we're talking about doesn't deserve a party. So I've been giving them away since then, books here and there on my channel, and I'm really happy to do that. I'm glad you guys are doing it too. Thank you.
Definitely support her and buy her book, because it's amazing.
Thank you. You're so sweet. You guys are awesome.
I feel like Oprah. Buy her book. Go out and buy a mountain. Do it today.
And you get a book, and you get a book.
Yeah, that would be nice. Oh my, how funny. Emily, that's hilarious. I love it.
Emily, I can't wait to see that. Emily,
Megan. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Megan. Yeah, no, the shortest book, actually, I think I wrote Tinley Hall in 2 months. But the longest one was a little bit over a year, because I was working with a woman who lives far away from me, and it was difficult. The timing as far as getting the interviews with her and things like that took a while. But the shortest book was 2 months, and usually they're about 5 to 7 months at the most, usually. But
see, with me, I just when I was younger, I wanted to be an actor, and then I wanted to be a movie maker, a producer, a director. So I have all these stories in my head, but I just cannot get them out. And it's like, they're just
do it. If I can do it, anyone can. I have faith in you, Robbie. You can do that. So write a short story and I'll help you edit it and then go from there and just have all the confidence in the world. I mean, you talk so well. You can, so if you can talk, you can write. Trust me.
Okay, I'll trust you on that one. We'll see I'll write like a 1-page story and see what happens.
Perfect. That's a good place to start. Definitely.
Yeah, short story.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome.
All right, guys, there's the link one more time for No Inclination. Go get that.
Thank
and
you.
We'll be reading the other one as well. But thank you. I'm going to go take a bath.
There you go. Take that bath. I got to finish cleaning. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Robbie.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you are awesome. And thanks to everybody out there. I really enjoyed this. And thank you for reading. And I'll see you guys soon.
Yes,
Okay.
You're always welcome to come back, Tanya.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
And thank you, Nicole, before you go.
Thank
you, because it's so fun to read books with you, and I'm so excited to read the other one. At least this one now, we can pace it. We don't have a time, because I felt bad, we're like, okay, let's give it a little more time, and telling Tanya because she was going to come on. So now we can just read freely.
Let's just read our book freely, and then we'll set up the time because we'll already have read it.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. But I'm definitely going to order mine probably before I get in the bathtub.
Okay. Yep. I'm going to order it tonight too. So.
All right, guys.
Bye, you guys.
Or not Mary Lopez, Foxy Lady, and oh my God, I didn't write down the other one. It was who was the other one? That one line.
Foxy Lady and
Mary donated hers, and then I did a drawing again, or not a drawing, a question again, and it was. Hold on, I know who it was because they've emailed me before.
Who came on, you guys? Or who came? I need to go to bed.
I know, I'm so tired too.
I'm reading Mexi's comment right now. It's so cool that she came on, and I just
it is.
Yeah, never mind. Okay. Yeah. Who won the second?
It was Mia that she won the one that. Leather and Lace Ginger Locks. You were on top of it tonight. It was Leather and Lace.
Big time. Yeah, she's on top of it.
Thank you, Ginger Locks. What would I do without you? I would not have a brain. That's what I would do.
And I'm no help. I'm half asleep.
All right. So yeah, Mia is going to get Tanya's copy, and then, okay, great. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. And thank you again, Nicole. Thank you again, Tanya. And I hope you have a good night. We will talk to you guys later.